Okay, now that you've hopefully finished your workshop, let's just look where marketing intelligence comes from. Obviously there are different sources where it comes from, so it could be books, newspapers, trade publications, customers, your suppliers, your own sales force, so your own people who who work in the sales, your own employees, the internet, government data. Remember we talked about changing legislations and stuff like that. Research data, as I said, Maureen, Mintel, and you've got the CIA site there as well. Competitors' open days, so you could actually go there and see what they do. I used to do that when I used to work for the University of Brighton in marketing. I used to attend my competitors' open days just to see if they did it any better or not than we did it, and I have to say they didn't. You collect their brochures, look at, obviously snoop on their websites as well, which I very often did as well when I was trying to figure out what was going on the market, how other universities were doing. And obviously you've got your observers, so like mystery people like mystery shoppers as well, so for your covert retail research. And also I know you've got mystery, in the restaurant you've got mystery shoppers there very often as well. I'm sure hotels have them as well. And then the benefits of market information systems, they're very quick and more efficient, and it's very cost-effective information. Sorry. There are a few, I'm not going to go through all of them. You've got improved targeting of marketing activities, better market selection and positioning, marketing customer-oriented organization. It gives you the competitive advantage as well. And then improved internal information and communication as well. So you make sure that anything you find out is being communicated up or down throughout your organization as well. There are some. I just put down 10 steps for market information system success as well. You have to define your customers. If you don't know your target market, you're screwed basically. You need to understand their needs. Again, if you don't know your target market, you don't know their needs, how are you going to come up with a successful marketing campaign? You need to map their needs against decisions and the sources. Do you have them available, or do you have to change anything? You have to implement a sourcing strategy. So if your target market wants locally sourced breakfast, how are you going to do that? If they want free Wi-Fi, how are you going to do that? Can you provide that? Define information policies and standards. I think that's quite normal that you have to do that. Select a pilot project. Maybe choose one establishment and see how it works, how people react to it, and also how your employees and your employer reacts to it as well, and your shareholders and everyone. Select an appropriate technology. So if you want to offer free Wi-Fi, if you don't have Wi-Fi, you can't offer it, for example. And how do you monitor that it works as well? And then nurture the intelligence processes. So make sure that everything is communicated, that you know what's going on, everyone knows what's going on as well. And then market the capability. Are you actually able to do it, and to what degree are you able to do it as well? Assessing information needs. There's a vast amount of information out there. Even though you collect all of it, your manager might not need all of it at this point of time. They might want it later, but who knows? Also, managers don't always know what they need. So you might do your research, would be great, have very good outcome, and then, oh yeah, but what about this? You didn't ask me about this. Well, but I need it now. Well, yeah, I can give it to you now, for example. So, obviously, some of the things you can then find out by analyzing, evaluating your data. Other things you might have to just go back and see if you can find it out. Or while you're reading your literature, your secondary data, you might then realize actually they haven't asked me this, and they haven't asked for this. So actually, maybe it's quite important for me to find this out. Not all information can always be supplied. There's always a fault in the system, and well-designed information systems obviously look at what information is required, what information is needed, what information is needed, and what is feasible to offer within your time frame, your budget, your other responsibilities as well. If a manager asks you to do 6-7 months research on international customer needs, you can't do that because it's too big. Time frame is really not long enough for the massive project you're supposed to do. So what can you do in your given time and within your given budget as well, and with your knowledge as well. Speak to your managers. What information do they need? You can't help them if you don't know what they want. And then decide whether the benefits of having an item of information actually justify spending money on it as well. Is it really that important? Is there another way you can get this information? What happens if I don't provide this bit of information? Is the research going to suffer, and is there going to be a bias, or is it not valid then? So you have to look at information needed versus the costs, not just monetary, not just money, but also time and effort spent on that as well. And then how do you know what you need? What are the decisions you're being asked about? What do you need? What are you always being asked about? What types of information do you need to make certain decisions? What type of information do you regularly get? Are there any certain studies you always request? Do you always get a certain, the caterer and hotel keeper, something like that? Do you get a certain magazine all the time with a lot of information? Do you read the Green Hotelier, stuff like that? What trade reports do you get? Is there anything there you can use? So again, how often do you want your information? Is it a daily thing, a monthly thing, weekly, yearly, whatever? So you have to, again, what information do you need in order to get the best out of what you want to find out as well? And then do you have data analysis programs? Do you need them? Can you use Excel? Do you need do you need Microsoft Project, for example? Do you need Prince 1, 2, and whatever else you need there? So as I said, is Excel the one thing you need, and that will help you to then evaluate and analyze your data as well. And Excel is actually a very good tool to do statistics with. So don't underestimate the power of Excel there as well. Having Microsoft Project is great, but obviously for cost reasons a lot of people don't have it. Okay, now I've talked a lot about information. What I'd like you to do now is to find out what good information is. What makes good information? What does it have to be like? What are characteristics of good information? And again, I've set up a discussion forum for you. So again, go ahead, do your workshop, and then you've got the last bit of this workshop, and then the last bit of the lesson after that as well.